What's up there, YouTube? It is a cold day today. Got up this morning. It was 9 degrees here in Memphis. Right now it's in the mid-20s, so we didn't get out and do anything. So I've just been hanging out here at the house all day. I hadn't brushed my hair, hadn't shaved my face, none of that. But decided to do some stuff here in the kitchen. We had a little bit of apples, a bag of apples that we needed to get rid of, so I decided to make a cobbler. So here we go. I'm going to take you along. I already started. Then thought, well, man, never too late. Dee had started with the video, right? And said, I messed up. I should have started from the beginning. But here we go. I'll show you where we are. Jenny's gone to the grocery store to get some whipped cream for the batter mix, so we got a mix up to go in it, and I'll show you what we got going on. Okay, here's what we got. We got the Panasonic Toughbook CF52. I really love this thing. It's got a water-resistant keyboard on it, stuff like that. I'll do a review on it later, but it's great for having in the kitchen. We don't come up with most of the stuff out of our heads. We got to look it up, but right here you'll see foodnetwork.com. Sorry for the glare off the screen. Foodnetwork.com for Apple Cobbler. There's your list of ingredients right there. So what we did is we diced up the apples. We mixed up all the dry ingredients. We lightly buttered this 9x9 Pyrex dish. Diced up the apples, peeled them and diced them. Then we mixed up our sugar. It calls for dark brown sugar. I had light brown sugar here, so that's what I used. A little bit of all-purpose flour, some cinnamon, vanilla extract, a pinch of salt, some ground nutmeg, and a little bit of lemon juice. Mix that up in a large mixing bowl, and then we poured it in this dish. Then what we got to do is mix up our topping. Here, I'll show you the topping. There's our topping ingredients. 2 tablespoons of butter, a half cup of self-rising flour, a half cup of sugar, a pinch of salt, a pinch of ground ginger, 1 beaten egg, 1 cup of whipping cream, 1/4 cup of confectioner's sugar, and a 1/4 cup of candied ginger minced, which will probably get away from the candy ginger and just not use that. And then we'll mix that up and we'll dollop it in through here and then stick it in the oven and bake it. And when she gets back with the whipped cream, I'll show you us mixing up that, and then we'll put it all together and put it in the oven, and then I'll show you the end result. Alright there, YouTube, we're back. Jenny went out and got the whipped topping for the
that's whipping cream.
Whipping cream.
There's a huge difference between whipped topping and whipping cream. Okay,
so we're just going to continue. I'm kind of a stickler for following directions most of the time on recipes. So it just says add all the topping ingredients to a medium bowl, combine well with a wooden spoon. So all we're going to do, we're going to get our medium-sized bowl. I like that juggling bowls. Medium-sized bowl. This is 2 tablespoons of butter. It's supposed to be softened.
I got margarine.
Margarine's okay. Where is it? Usually we do use butter.
But it was $4.
Today we're going to use Kroger's buttery spread.
Don't look, YouTube.
You know what the nice thing about this is it's already softened. I don't have to soften it like you do butter, because it is supposed to be softened. So we're going to do 2 tablespoons. Now this part here, my home economics teacher in high school, she'd be disappointed because I'm not doing this the way we were taught. When it comes to the yummy stuff like butter, sugar, stuff like that, and some of my spices, I tend to go with a heaping measurement rather than the right way to do this would be you take a table knife or a rubber spatula and you would, instead of just scooping it up like that, you take it like this here, and you would press it in like this. And now it's packed in there, and then you scrape it off like that. Then you have your exact tablespoon. That's not the way we're doing it today. Today we're just scooping it up because this gives it some yummy goodness. Some stick to my belly goodness. Makes it taste good. All this is just a place to put that kind of stuff, so I can reuse it if I need to. So 2 tablespoons of butter. Need a half cup of self-rising flour. The thing with flour, whenever you do flour, you have to be a little more careful, because just scooping it like this here, it causes the flour to pack inside the cup. So it's sometimes better just to go ahead. We have an old coffee scoop like this here. Just put it in there and fill the cup up. Scrape off the top. If you don't want too much flour, you want the right amount of flour, just put it in the bowl. And we use old 1 gallon ice cream buckets for our flour and our sugar. It keeps so much. We used to have Tupperware, but over the years it started to crumble and fall apart. And finding, oh, it's warranted. Well, find somebody out there who has it and will warranty it and stuff. Sometimes a pain, they want you to buy something else or whatever. Those are cheap and free. When it breaks, guess what I get to do? I get to go buy another gallon of ice cream, and then we have to eat the ice cream.
Yummy.
And we got a new Tupperware for free. So the next thing is a half cup of sugar. So again, 1 gallon ice cream pail. And we need a half cup. And again, when it comes to the sugars, I tend to like a heaping measurement. What are you laughing at? The kids? Me? Why are you laughing at me? Oh, you can speak.
Because you just used the thing that had flour in it and scooped it into the sugar.
Oh, it'll be okay.
Cross-contamination.
The flour
bad.
thing was it's fine.
That's not like you. Who are you?
Okay. Then we need a pinch of salt. So just put a little salt in my hand. I take a pinch to mean a pinch. Pinch of salt and a pinch of ground ginger. Do we have ginger? Again, notorious spice cabinet. It's a good thing I have Jenny here. She's brave. Oh, ground ginger. We even have McCormick. That's so unlike us. Usually we have like this right here.
The only one.
Great Value Walmart's brand, or Kroger brand, or for really fancy, Private Selection. That's somebody Walmart's premium house brand. But today we got McCormick. The same thing. Need a pinch of ground ginger. Just put it all in there. Well, I'm being told just to put it all in there. Pinch of ground ginger. 1 egg beaten. So guess what that means? I mean, we put the egg in there, then beat it. We beat the egg and then put it in there. So I'm just going to put it right here in this mixing cup, mixing glass. This here becomes in my compost pile. That's a video for another day. Compost pile. And you can use, that's a little big for this, you can use one of these. We have a few different size whisks, but fork works good too. Just get in there. Try not to spill it on the floor the way I just did. Beat the egg, pour it in the mixture. You get a rag and wipe it up off the floor. Then 1 cup of whipping cream chilled. So, and it's already chilled, so this is probably 1 cup. Right in this one container. 1 cup, look at that. Just so y'all know how we do it, instead of getting the big one, these were on sale for 75 cents. So my wife, being the savvy shopper that she is, we got one. We got a few, she bought 4 of those. Pour that into our mixture. Do we have powdered sugar? Where's that at? In here? Okay. 1/4 cup of powdered sugar. Guess I should have read this and made sure we had everything before I sent it to the grocery store in the 20-degree
Burr.
So, oh, we're out of powdered sugar. I guess you get to go back.
There's more in the cabinet.
Yeah, my wife's a baker. We always have powdered sugar. That's how she makes her. That's what I need to show you one day. Is her making her frosting, making a cake. How she makes a cake. Oh, she does a fantabulous job. Go to Little Wild Things Cakes on Facebook. You'll see her cakes. They're awesome. So what did it say?
1/4 cup.
1/4 cup of confectioner's sugar. Did I have a 1/4 cup back?
Nope.
These are awesome too. They're scoops that are measuring cups. See right there. You got 1/4 teaspoon on this side, a 1/4 cup on this side. You just scoop it, and when you want that heaping like you do for any of the sweet stuff. That was probably more like a 1/2 cup. It'll be worth it when it's in my mouth going yum yum. Okay, confectioner's sugar, and it calls for, like I said, candied ginger. I don't know what candied ginger is. We're not going to worry about candied ginger. We're omitting that part of the recipe. This is take a wooden spoon and mix your mixture together. And anytime you're doing these mixtures with the egg stuff and things, I think it's just for meringue. They say you don't want to use plastic mixing bowls. You want to use some kind of glass. But we have the original set of mixing bowls when we got married 15 years ago. I think they came from like a dollar store or something like that, and they're plastic. But as we started to get into cooking and stuff, we found that there's some things that you just don't want to use plastic for. You want to use glass or something like that. And then us being the eclectic people that we are, we decided we didn't want just normal glass mixing bowls. So we started shopping for these Pyrex style. And now there's a couple of them in the dishwasher already. This set here is actually kind of a mixture of sets, just little pieces we picked up here and there, antique stores from family members that had broken sets, you know, and they broke them over the years, so they still had a few extras and they wanted to get rid of them, so we took them, we put together one set, and it's kind of a mixture. It's up here. There's the only one that's clean out of this set, the little brown one. That was actually my mom's. But then this set here we found on Craigslist, and it's a matching set. I know you see a different color in there, but that's because they're different colors. That brown one actually goes in the other set. But I found on Craigslist for $40. Any of you who shop for these things will know that's one heck of a deal. You say $40 for a used set of mixing bowls. This one mixing bowl right here, we probably paid $20 to $30 for it. And then we have the big one that matches this one. It's in the dishwasher right now. That costs somewhere close to $80 at an antique store. So $40 for a matching set is actually one heck of a deal, in my opinion. So we mix that up like so. I think I got a little more of the whipping cream in there. I'd hate to let that go waste. So we're going to mix that up. And instead of trying to worry about how to dollop it, I'm just going to take it. Pour it. I hope I'm doing this right. That's tasty. She's doing this way. It's actually pretty good. That's sweet. Hey, it says you put it in the oven. Bake it for how long? About 30 minutes. We've got our oven preset for 375 degrees. We'll stick that in there. And bake it for 30 minutes, it says. We'll set our timer for 30 minutes. Then we're going to go ahead and mix up the whipped cream. Okay, now to do just a small little review here. Gotta get there. This here is the KitchenAid Professional 5 Plus mixer. We have this one, and we also have this one. This is the KitchenAid Artisan Series. I believe this one's
Excuse my messy cake table.
This here is like a 350 amp motor. This one's like a 420 amp motor. This one, the Artisan, I bought online for Mother's Day. Wasn't it Mother's Day one year? Or Mother's
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day. One year, Jenny always wanted the red KitchenAid mixer, and I just couldn't see paying a couple $100 extra for the Pro line. So I thought the Artisan series was strong enough. Now, and it is. It's great. It's an awesome mixer. But what we found we found this one. A friend of ours had it. They'd gotten it from their neighbor, and it was broken. And when he told me it was broken and I could have it because he didn't want to fix it, I said, sure, I'll tinker with it. I don't know, I can't fix it. But I got to looking at it, doing some research, found that the transmissions were bad about breaking. And you could pick up a transmission for one relatively cheaply, especially compared to the cost of the mixer new. When I got the mixer, it wasn't the transmission that was broken. The transmission had already been replaced. It was this piece right here. I don't know if you can get in on that. This piece right here had broken and come off, and there was no fix for that. I looked and looked and looked, and this here is all one piece. To take this off, you're supposed to have to take it apart from in here. So there was no fix. There's no pin. It's just supposed to be on there. So what I did is I bought a little bit of JB Weld. So maybe this is a shout out to JB Weld. But I mixed up a little bit of JB Weld, applied it to the shaft, put this on there, and taped it up so it'd hold it and let it sit overnight. The next day, it was working fine. That was about a year ago, and this thing has probably made over 100 cakes since then. This has become our primary mixer. Just the way the bowl is made, the way this one here works, instead of tipping back. See, the Artisan Series mixer tips back like this, and the way this barrel is made for the Artisan Series, it's real deep right here and narrow right across here. Well, and then you let the Artisan Series down like that to get into the mixing bowl. The way the Professional Series is made, the bowl is not quite as deep, but it's wider. I'd say these bowls are probably about the same size as far as their capacity, but the way this one's made, you have a handle over here on the side that actually drags the mixing bowl up to the mixer head. And if you can get down in there, the beater actually hits the very bottom of the bowl, whereas on the Artisan Series it sits up about 1/8 of an inch off the bottom of the bowl. So you have to get in there and actually scrape the bottom of the bowl to make it work. Also, this right here makes it easier to put, the way this here comes up and down, it makes it easier to put stuff into the bowl while you're actually mixing, while it's going and doing its thing. These are incredibly strong mixers, incredibly quiet mixers, and I've known people, we have a Sunbeam countertop mixer, and one time she was making some royal icing, which is really, really thick stuff, and it didn't kill the mixer, but we thought it was going to. The mixer actually had smoke coming out of it. It was getting so hot from mixing that stuff for so long. It was so thick. These here handle it with no problem. Bread doughs, you put the dough hook on either one of these two mixers. On the Artisan series, you might hear it start to strain a little bit, but not enough that you even concern yourself with it. The Pro mixer, you don't even hear it begin to start to try to bog down. These, I know they're the most expensive mixers out there, but if you do much of any kind of cooking at all, these things are well worth the money. It's a lifetime mixer. Not to say they don't have parts that fail, but when they do fail, KitchenAid has a tremendous support staff, and the parts are not very expensive, and they are fairly easy to fix and to do it yourself if you're any handy at all with a wrench. So I think they're well worth the money, but you have to be to decide that for yourself. I guess we just put this in there and mix it on high.
Don't start it on high.
Bring that up. You know, it helps if you can get in first. Now let's just say it is relatively quiet. It's not all that loud. That's sugar. We'll add a little bit of sugar. All that, you think? All that? I guess you just sweeten this to taste good. However you like it. And they're telling you to go ahead and put a little bit of the ginger.
Not till it's already peaking.
Yeah, I don't know that we're going to. Alright, we're going to let that mix up, and then we'll come back to you whenever it is mixed up, and so we'll pause it here and be right back. And here we are, after it's been in the mixer for about, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes. You have the consistency of whipped cream. Imagine that. It's whipped cream. So that's it. It's mixed up. We added about a 1/4 cup of sugar, I guess, to those 3 cups of whipping cream, and whipped it up with the KitchenAid real quick, and it's about the sweetness I like. It's not gritty, and it's pretty good. Alright. And now we pull it out of the oven. It's been in the oven for 30 minutes at 375. Our Apple Cobbler. Looks pretty yummy to me.